everyone, it's Melissa with the M Word. If you're new here, I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kiddos. I have an 8-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. My 4 and 2-year-old are both doing school. My 2-year-old is actually the first child of that age to be doing as much school as she's doing. I think it's just because she's been in, we've been homeschooling now for 5 years, so she just basically just kind of came into it. That's just the way it's been for her, and she enjoys it and wants to do it and it has fun. But I would have never had my now 8-year-old be doing school at 2. It would have never worked for her. My 4-year-old, he kind of did school last year and is only definitely doing school this year. Like, he would have never been okay with it at age 2. He just didn't have the ability to do it then. So she is doing a preschool, but it's modified. She's doing a little bit pre-K stuff, a little bit younger stuff, kind of depending on what meets her needs at age 2. The priorities in our homeschool, my priorities are actually going to be on my weekly spreadsheet, my weekly checklist. I like to have one spreadsheet for all my children. I do have a link to this in the description box below. It's in a Dropbox. I just ask that you don't sell it or reproduce it in any way, shape, or form except for your own homeschool. That's just my personal preference. But I do share this because I did create it in Excel, and then I just color coded my kids. My light blue is going to be my youngest, my 2-year-old. My dark blue is my son, and the pink here and some of the white, because for some reason I didn't color it, is going to be my 3rd grader, my 8-year-old. And then the green is everything we do together as a family. Then on Fridays, so we do 4 days a week, and then on Fridays we have game day. My priorities are going to be language arts, math. Those are non-negotiables for the day. For my 3rd grader, that means she's doing quite a bit of language arts this year. She is doing language arts level D. She is doing all about reading level 2. She's doing Mazdas Opal. She's doing all about spelling. She's doing handwriting, daily 6 traits of writing, beginning word roots, typing and structure, and night zookeeper. Those are her non-negotiables for the day, and math you see. My son's non-negotiables are going to be the same. It's going to be language arts. His language arts are going to be his all about his handwriting, ABC lessons. He doesn't always want to do this. I have him do at least 1 or 2 of the letters per page, and then he does his all about reading, which is also a non-negotiable with him. The other non-negotiable with my son is going to be his math, which is going to be his mathematical reasoning. For my preschooler, I don't have non-negotiables for her. She is, like I said, she is 2, and she's already doing more than I would have expected my other kids to do. So I don't expect her to do anything if she's not into it that day. If she wants to, she has a handwriting. She has the Chinese alphabet that she's doing. She has her mathematical reasoning is beginning level 1. And those, it's very similar to the beginning 2, but it goes more on shapes, counting, colors, her Play Smart alphabet. And that teaches letter recognition as well. It's tracing, coloring, matching, that kind of thing. And she enjoys it. Your non-negotiables are going to change every year. Your non-negotiables, your priorities are going to evolve and change. And the things that help you now, you might not have been able to do last year. These priorities are priorities in our homeschool, but like I'm saying, they weren't always there. We are not always able to do the language arts and math for all 3 kids every day. It is a priority. It's a non-negotiable for me. But there also is the non-negotiable of my children's happiness and my happiness, and that has to be at the forefront of my priority, or those other priorities aren't going to fall into place. So if my kids just cannot for the day, we stop. We take a break and we move on. The week before last week, we only did 3 days of school. I require 4, but we only did 3. It wasn't possible. It wasn't something we were able to do. And sometimes that Monday morning when we get up and they cannot move, they cannot keep functioning, they can't keep going, it might be a non-negotiable for me, but if it's not something they can do, we don't do it. We pause and we break and we move on. I do my best if we miss a day to make up the day throughout the week as we go. So if I miss getting a lesson done I kind of throw an extra sheet in this day and that day and try to get it caught up. But if I don't get caught up, it's okay. We year-round homeschool. My kids are going to homeschool for as long as we can manage to homeschool them. So I am not too concerned if they miss a day here and there. In my opinion, it's just like if we had called in sick at school, except for by calling in sick for the public school where she would have missed that entire day and never learned it moving forward. She still just gets to go to the next page at home. She doesn't actually miss anything. It's not like we're just ripping that page out and being like, whoops, can't do it, which is what I had to do in public school, where if I missed an entire day's worth of lessons, nobody gave that back to me. I was just given the sheet and been like, well, here's your test for the day. We learned it yesterday while you were gone. Sorry. I don't know how helpful that was. I hope it was a little helpful. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will talk to you next time.